Finishing on a high note, Louis Watt explains why the lads decided to split after a hugely successful 14-year career.
They'd planned this a while back and they said, you know, we don't want to flog this. We want to go out on top. We only want to sell out stadiums.
We'll have more from Louis shortly. Then, going it alone, we get expert analysis and reaction from industry insiders and find out what's next for the band.
Whether it's 3, 4, 5 years' time, they'll try another go at it. Let's go again, guys, and see how we get on.
And the end of an era. We speak to the fans to hear their Westlife memories.
Flying with our wings comes straight to me. I don't know whether that's my favourite, but that's what I think.
Okay. Also, top of the pops. We look back on Westlife's career and their Xpose highlights.
So, you know, we're going to work hard and fame and, you know, money comes, that's a bonus, you know what I mean?
Plus, Boys to Men. Boyzone's Keith Duffy talks about life after boy band breakups.
You've been travelling first class, you've been staying in 5-star hotels, you've been spoiled. You've been made to believe that this is real, and it's not real.
Remember, you can join in with the conversation online by heading over to our Facebook page or by tweeting and including the hashtag Xpose. Westlife fans across the globe were rocked by the news last night that the band are going their separate ways after 14 successful years together. Here's how their split played out.
Westlife fans are coming to terms with the news that the band is splitting.
Breaking showbiz news, Westlife have just announced they're to split.
Just on that shock announcement this evening that the band are calling
So news for Westlife fans tonight. The boy band are splitting after 14 years.
Following weeks of speculation that they were taking an extended break, Westlife confirmed last night that the band was splitting after 14 years together. In a joint statement posted on their official website, the group said, "The decision is entirely amicable, and after spending all of our adult life together so far, we want to have a well-earned break and look at new ventures." The band will release a greatest hits compilation at Christmas and will then go their separate ways following their recently announced farewell tour in May. Last night, Louis Walsh revealed the reasons behind the shocking split.
The boys made the decision themselves. The 4 boys decided they wanted to go out on top.
And while Westlife mightn't be continuing as a 4-piece, it definitely won't be the last we see of the lads.
I think Shane wants to make a solo record. I think he definitely wants to do a record like Michael Bublé. Nicky wants to do television and radio, be a television presenter, radio, probably in the UK. Mark definitely wants to be in music because he's a great songwriter. And Cian is doing the Irish version of The Voice, and he wants to be in music. I think he's probably going to be a manager.
So, for the moment, it looks like we'll have to live without the epic key changes, the heart-wrenching ballads and the moody music videos. Until the reunion anyway, fingers crossed. And joining me in studio for more on the story is the Irish Daily Mail's entertainment editor, Owen Murphy, our very own Glenda, and Paul Martin from the Irish Daily Mirror. Well, lads, were we all shocked by this? What did you think when you heard the news, Owen?
I wasn't shocked. I think this has kind of been on the cards for a while now. I mean, they have been going almost 14 years, 14 #1s, an album out of greatest hits, you know, even though there are going to be 3 new tracks. You kind of felt that they were going to take a break anyway. I mean, they need, you know, Cian is going to be a father, you know, Shane has his own, you know, family to deal with. They're all going in different directions. Cian's going to be on a reality TV show. It was just a question of how long the break was going to be. I think I was probably surprised that they've announced that it's going to be permanent.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of what struck me. But, you know, they've given us some incredibly good times, and, you know, and they've really put Ireland on the map musically. I think they're probably our 2nd biggest music export behind U2. So, I mean...
That's the thing, Paul, because they have been amazing ambassadors for this country. Like, there's countries that we don't even know that have heard of Westlife but haven't heard of Ireland.
I know, it's crazy, but, I mean, from day one, what, 14 years ago, I was actually at the very first audition when they all walked in, they'd just been picked, and they gave me a little private gig, a half-an-hour private gig.
Did they give you a waistcoat?
They gave me the waistcoat. I'm still wearing the waistcoat to this day. But, on a serious note, even then, it was clear they were far better than Boyzone. I think, you know, Boyzone, you know, had 2 or 3 years, but it was all cover versions. Westlife came out, they were dynamic, they were young, and this record-breaking run of #1s rivaling the Beatles, it was incredible at the time. I think the big change for me was about 6 months ago when they split with Simon Cowell. That was obviously a lot of people saying the writing was on the wall then, and that they weren't, you know, there was probably no way forward from that, really, because he was such a big person to have backing them up.
But that wasn't a disaster, was it, Owen?
Well, you see, they did sign to RCA, but I think when they took the 1 album deal, which was for the greatest hits and the 3 new tracks, rather than, and I do understand there was another offer on the table for a longer period, for more albums, for more money, and when they turned that down, you kind of got the impression that their hearts weren't in it as much. And for them, like, and you have to understand, when they go on the road, they go for like 6 months at a time.
It's a really hard life, you know. People don't realise the amount of hours they have to
Well,
put in.
Glenda, when you've met them backstage, they're always so jovial. They're always in great form. They did love what they did.
Absolutely. Sure, you know yourself, all the girls in the team would know. But, you know, you go backstage and, of course, they're just so grounded. They either have their kids running around or their wives, their girlfriends or whatever at the time. And, you know, they come in, how are you, Glenda? They're the same normal lads that they were at the start. And they were such huge superstars. And as you said, they were such a pleasure. Like, we should be so proud of them because they never did a bad thing.
No.
They never let us down.
No scandals?
They're nothing. Like,
Well, when Brian was in the band, of course, there was plenty of scandals. Let's not mention the Stag Nights, but you're right, since then they've been very well behaved.
We're celebrating the other lads now.
Coventry anyway.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah, no, I think that we all should be very proud of them. They've never let us down, and sure, they've been such a success, and it's a sad day.
I know it is. Do you think we'll have a Christmas #1 from Westlife?
No, because of the X Factor. I don't know what Owen feels about this, but I think probably not going to happen, but definitely a Christmas album, maybe an album.
I don't think that they will have a Christmas. I don't think that they will be going for Christmas #1. I think that they will get their next single is out November 11th, Lilas, and I think that's going to be their 15th #1. I think, you know, you can say what you want about it, but, you know, the announcement has come at a time when they do have a single out. They have a tour coming out. And, you know, people are going to get their chance to grab whatever's left
I
of them.
just hope that it's not too much of a sad day for fans, because remember Take That breaking up, and there was helplines and everything for kids. They have the same following as Take That have. They're huge.
Take That are breaking up. When Take That broke up, that was it, they're gone. Westlife aren't. They're, you know, you're going to get a chance to see them on tour. You can buy the new album. There's going to be interviews. They're going to do press. There's a nice souvenir poster in the mail on Saturday.
Nice.
You know,
And
but
by
you
the
are
way,
going to get a chance. You are going to get a chance to say goodbye to them,
Absolutely.
which is something that most boy bands don't get a chance to do to their
And let's
fans.
not forget as well, by the way, a certain person, Shane Filan, guaranteed solo career, guys. You've got to be honest about this. There'll be an album next year. He will tour. You know, he's keeping his cards close to his chest, but he was always the lead singer in the band. He was the most talented one, in my opinion. Solo deal for Shane Filan, he could be massive.
And guess how many years will we have to wait for the reunion?
5.
I'm going to say 10 because Shane's solo career will be so big, he doesn't need to go back.
So in their 40s, we'll see them back on tour again.
You never know.
Thanks a million, guys, for joining us in studio. Now, next up, one man who knows a thing or two about boy band breakups is Keith Duffy. Glenda caught up with the Boys on Star earlier today.
Last night, the Kings of Pop, Westlife, shocked the music world by calling it a day after 14 years at the top. This morning, I caught up with Boyzone member and good friend of the lads, Keith Duffy, to find out what he thought of their decision.
14 years in the road. I mean, if you look at Take That, Boyzone, or any of the boy bands over the years, or pop groups over the years, they never lasted more than 6 or 7 years before they needed to take a break. The Beatles only lasted, I think, was 5 or 6 years before they took a break. To last 14 years, 10 or 12 albums, whatever it was, they've had a fantastic career and they've worked hard. It's not easy, so fair play to them, and I wish them the world of luck.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, you were there. You were that soldier when you broke up. What is life like when you finish and, you know, after all that mayhem for so long?
Yeah, well, we broke up after 6 or 7 years and we were still quite young and impressionable. And it's hard. It's kind of like you do a lot of soul searching because you forget how to be in everyday life. You've been travelling first class, you've been staying in 5-star hotels, you've been spoiled. You've been made to believe that this is real, and it's not real. You know, you go back home and things are different, you know, and you know, over the years, if your profile starts to drop down a little bit, your favourite restaurant table is no longer there for you. You know, the guest list doesn't exist anymore. You know, the free bottle of champagne and you go to the club is gone. You know, things like that happen, and that kind of makes you feel like, oh my God, am I going backwards in life? But that's just, you know, that's just the rat race that this kind of business is. But they've had a good time, you know, they've made a lot of money and they've had a good career, so.
And what about the fans? Because I remember, like, when you guys broke up, there was a lot of tears. It's the same with Take That, like there was helplines set up. What do you think for Westlife? Because they've a huge following.
Yeah, they've a massive following. I mean, they've got dedicated fans that will be absolutely devastated, but it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. They still have the Christmas album to look forward to and the tour next year.
Yeah, so do you think all these rumours about Brian McFadden coming back for one last go, do you think that will even happen?
I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, the lads have been on their own. Yeah, I'd say it's only rumours. I mean, you know, if you want to be realistic about it, why would they want to split the money 5 ways and they can still split it 4?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they may have a world of their own now, but thanks for the memories, lads. Listen, lads, best of luck. Hope it goes really well for you. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, it's the final chapter for Westlife and a sad day for fans everywhere, as Aisling found out earlier today.
You and I, we've been at it so long, I still got the strongest fire.
What did you make of hearing the news that Westlife are over? No more.
I was quite devastated.
And I'm not. Were you really?
Yeah, I was. And I'm trying to get tickets now to go to their concerts and stuff. So.
And have you been to their concerts before?
Yeah, I've been to about 3 or 4. The 2 in Croke Park as well. So I've been loving them since I was about 7.
They're obviously really good singers, but what do you think it was about Westlife that attracted so many fans?
I think part of it was their charisma, to be honest, and their, especially Nicky Byrne with his little smile that he always did.
Oh, he's
that
your
got
favourite?
me. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
What about buying all the records? Did you do that?
Yeah.
All of them?
All of them. Every single one of them.
And any time a single was out?
Yeah. No, I got most of the singles and then I got the albums. And I'm just waiting for the next one now.
And did you get a shock when you found out they were breaking up?
Yeah. Because they said that, yeah, like they said they were never going to break up at all. They said last year that they'd never break up, and now they are.
We also bumped into X Factor girl band member Rebecca Creighton from Bellamy. What do you think it is about boy bands over girl bands? Why do you think they're more successful than girl bands?
Because the girls love them. The girls love the boys. The girls aren't so keen on the girl bands because they don't really know you individually either. So
they don't fancy as much.
No,
either.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't fancy you. So yeah, the boy bands do great all the time. Once you're a little bit hot, you'll do great.
Today FM DJ Tony Fenton says they were lucky to get as long as they did out of their time in the limelight.
But you got to remember, like the shelf life of a boy band, they're lucky to get 14 years. If you look back at the history, the timeline of boy bands from Jackson 5 and the Osmonds in the 70s, New Kids on the Block and Wham in the 80s, and right up to the present day, most boy bands get 5 years. If they're lucky, most boy bands don't even get to release a single. So they've had a great run at it. Great 14 years, 14 #1 singles, 7 #1 albums, 40 million albums sold. And they're millionaires.
And the obvious move too will be a reunion at some stage. What do you reckon?
Well, you just look at Stone Roses recently and Take That got back together again, and Boyzone got back together again, and so many other bands did the same. And, you know, it's inevitable that this will happen at some stage.
Between a father and his son.
Coming up after the break, we're delving into the archives to look back on Westlife's career highs and, much more importantly, their Xpose highlights. We'll see you in 3.